Your next 10 years. What awaits you? Much can be said. Every stage of life carries its own peculiarities and opportunities. To know them is to make time your ally. 40 to 50 years. Life experience becomes the new capital. Around the age of 40, not 50, the calculated midpoint of life is reached. On average, men at 39 can expect to live another 39 years. Women at 42 can look forward to 42 more years. Optimistically, one might speak of the June of life, when in the best case many fruits ripen, certain seeds may still be sown or resown, while others wither early and fall away. Those who have not yet made course corrections may now be forced to do so. Married couples, for example. Divorces typically occur 15 years after marriage, and 1 in 3 marriages ends within 25 years. Rarely does this happen overnight. Rather, this decade sees critical processes unfold: deepening or estrangement, togetherness or opposition. For some, life in this period flows gently, calmly, like a slow river. For others, radical revisions of life plans occur. Still others make up for what they once delayed, pursue long-held dreams or rediscover old passions. Patchwork families emerge, often colorful and complex, while fundamental patterns in relationships solidify, from faithful monogamy to frequent partner changes, from pragmatic marriages to enduring romance. Childless women face the task of coming to peace with their life paths. Biological aging now becomes evident in the body, not only through gray hairs which can be dyed. Hormones that governed fertility during puberty begin to decline markedly in both men and women, profoundly affecting female fertility, and for men as well, vitality. No one is compelled to chase consumer thrills or extramarital affairs to compensate. There are countless ways to navigate the upheaval often labeled a midlife crisis. Meanwhile, one's own children may be entering adolescence. Parents must now negotiate the delicate balance between distance and closeness. The maturation of children brings the possibility of becoming grandparents. Awareness of one's mortality sharpens, though denial remains possible. Fears of old age poverty and loneliness surface, prompting steps to secure financial stability. Responsibility for the well-being of aging parents, relatives, and friends grows. This may require compromises in personal enjoyment, but also offers opportunities to reinvigorate these relationships. Not only in work life do routines replace constant novelty and expansion. On the surface, this conserves energy, but it also carries risks. Boredom can breed exhaustion, and overconfidence may allow younger competitors to overtake one unexpectedly. The wealth of knowledge and experience accumulated by this age is invaluable. Patterns invisible to the young become clear. Connections are made instinctively, and power games and fleeting trends are seen through. People in this decade often become mentors, while simultaneously learning from the younger generation. Using and expanding these insights is to live with time. Many, however, fight against it, despairing over wrinkles and gray hair. What becomes acceptable again? Being happy. From the mid-30s onward, personal well-being declines. People feel older, more dissatisfied. The lowest point of happiness occurs on average at 46 years. After this, satisfaction and serenity gradually return. 50 to 60 years. Satisfaction returns. New is the experience of loss. In theory, the good times should now begin. Life satisfaction reaches a low point for most people in Western countries in their late 40s, but then rises again noticeably. At the same time, the body sends many unmistakable signals. Strength wanes more quickly, the senses dull, stress feels heavier, and managing multiple tasks becomes increasingly difficult. Without training, muscles atrophy faster than before, by several % each year. A basic rule from gerontology is therefore, from now on you must do more, not less. Among peers, a gap begins to widen. With age, mental and physical well-being diverge significantly. Some feel increasingly old, weak, tired, and spent, while others appear spry and almost ageless, flaunting their youthfulness. Of 1,000 people born at the same time as a 60-year-old man today, only 896 remain alive. Death thus becomes an unavoidable presence, prompting fresh questions of meaning, even as life expectancy for those who have reached this stage continues to rise. By now, many have experienced a personal illness that did not resolve in a few days, or know a peer who has been struck down by serious disease or a sudden heart attack. Life at this age delivers harsh lessons of real loss. In earlier decades, the focus was on primary control, actively pursuing goals. Now, secondary control, as developmental psychologists call it, gains importance, reshaping oneself, setting new goals when one realizes that not everything from youth can still be directly controlled or achieved. Clinging rigidly to old ambitions increases the risk of depression and dissatisfaction. For many, this decade can be one of resignation or of plunges into alcohol or depression. I did everything wrong. My life was meaningless. Everyone else is better off than me. For those satisfied with their life path, however, this decade can bring the greatest balance. The dice have been cast, and life is on their side. To live against time would mean stubbornly holding on to old goals. To live with time is to set new, adapted ones. The brain remains plastic enough for this. Many shift in this phase from expansion to maintenance. It is no longer about running a marathon in record time, but about sustaining the ability to run 10 kilometers twice a week. Before routines become enemies, they can be broken. Exploring new neighborhoods, traveling to distant lands, turning off the GPS, carving out time to learn, confronting and accepting, or overcoming, personal illusions. It becomes increasingly likely that children have left home and that one's own parents have passed. Both losses can be painful, but also open new opportunities. To reinvent oneself, further develop identity, seek new pursuits in volunteer work or hobbies, deepen relationships with partners and friends. Making younger friends can be beneficial. Being a good scientist no longer necessarily means producing a singular genius work, but mentoring younger researchers in inspiring ways. Being a good leader means delegating and exercising foresight. Many also face fears about advancing age, illness, and death. Yet these fears are less justified than ever. Healthy eating and exercise often postpone drastic bodily decline well past the 75th birthday. This is also when the paradox of well-being becomes apparent, as developmental psychologists describe it. Subjective well-being does not inevitably decline with aging. Numerous studies show it remains stable or even rises, at least until around age 60. Beyond that, it may plateau for an extended period, depending on personal effort and integration into a strong network of friends and family. What becomes possible now? Forgetting the pill. The average age of menopause is just over 50. What becomes acceptable again? Going abroad as an au pair. Au pair grannies are in demand, with many agencies helping older adults live abroad with a host family. Living in shared apartments with peers. Beyond student WG search engines, there are numerous online platforms for Generation 50+.